Have you ever wondered why you can't stop thinking about someone, even when you try? You might work more, meet new people, and try to focus on other things, but they still stay in your mind. Sometimes they show up in your dreams, sometimes a smell or song suddenly brings them back. According to Jung, when this happens, it's not just random. Your mind is trying to tell you something. Your mind doesn't keep thinking about things for no reason. If someone keeps showing up in your thoughts, your deeper mind, what Jung called the unconscious, is telling you something isn't finished or resolved. Our minds hold on to things that matter to us emotionally and things we still need to understand better. If you haven't fully dealt with an experience, your mind will keep bringing it back, not to hurt you, but to get you to pay attention. Our deeper mind doesn't see time the way our everyday thinking does. To the unconscious, there's no real difference between past and now. Anything that once felt important still exists under the surface, waiting for us to deal with it. This is why relationship experiences can feel so fresh even years later. Brain scientists have found that strong emotional memories create deep pathways in our brains, making some people almost impossible to forget. When just hearing their name can bring up strong feelings, it shows these connections are still active inside you. Often, our minds are trying to find closure for unfinished feelings. Maybe things were left unsaid, or maybe the relationship ended before you were emotionally ready. Your brain wants to make sense of what happened, and when it can't, it keeps replaying moments looking for answers. Sometimes, it's not even about the actual person. It's about what they represent in your life, like parts of your past or things you wanted but didn't get. If you're stuck thinking about someone, don't fight it. Instead, ask yourself, what is my mind trying to tell me? What feelings haven't I fully processed? What lesson am I missing? Usually the answer isn't about them, it's about you and what they mean to your inner life. Some people stay in our minds long after they've left our lives. We might think it's because they were special or had a big impact on us. But Jung suggested the real reason might have more to do with us than with them. He believed that when we have strong feelings about someone, whether we admire them, dislike them, or can't stop thinking about them, it's often because we're seeing something of ourselves in them. They become like a mirror showing parts of our own mind. This happens through what Jung called projection. Projection is when we unknowingly put our own feelings, wishes, or hidden traits onto someone else. If you really admire someone's confidence, it might be because you wish you were more confident yourself. If someone bothers you for no clear reason, they might be showing a quality that you don't want to see in yourself. The parts of us that we push down, our fears, insecurities, and even our hidden strengths, often show up in the people we think about most. Jung called these hidden, rejected parts of ourselves the shadow. These are qualities we've learned to push away, maybe because of how we were raised or what society expects. If we were taught to always be nice and agreeable, we might dislike people who speak their minds boldly, not because they're wrong, but because they represent something we've denied in ourselves. Similarly, if we see someone as wise and strong, it might be because we don't see our own wisdom and strength. The stronger our reaction to someone, the more likely they're showing us something inside ourselves. This is why certain people seem to haunt our thoughts. They're not just a memory, they stand for a part of our deeper mind that we haven't yet accepted. Until we recognize what they represent about us, they'll keep coming back to our thoughts. So instead of asking, why can't I stop thinking about them? Ask, what is this person showing me about myself? The answer could help you discover a part of yourself you've been missing. Have you ever been thinking about someone, only to suddenly hear their name, or see something that reminds you of them? Have you received a message from them just when they were on your mind? These strange coincidences can feel almost magical, like the universe is sending you a message. Jung called this synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that seem too perfectly timed to be random. Jung believed that our inner world and the outside world are connected in ways we don't fully understand. When a person stays in our mind, and then life starts showing us reminders of them, it might mean this connection still matters. Sometimes it's just that we're more aware and noticing patterns. But sometimes it feels like life is pointing us towards something important. These meaningful coincidences often happen during emotional times. When we're trying to let go, find closure, or understand something important. Jung suggested that synchronicity is more than just our attention focusing on certain things. He believed these events show an underlying pattern to life that we're meant to notice. When these coincidences keep bringing someone to mind, it doesn't necessarily mean you should reconnect with them. Instead, it might be showing you that their role in your life was about something bigger. They represented something important in your deeper mind. Jung believed that human experiences are shaped by archetypes, universal patterns that exist in everyone's unconscious mind. These aren't just personal memories, they're deeply rooted symbols that affect how we see the world. Sometimes, the person we can't stop thinking about has become an archetype in our personal story. For example, if someone felt like your perfect match, even if you weren't together long, they might represent the lover archetype, your desire for connection and emotional fulfillment. If they taught you important lessons, they might symbolize the wise teacher, representing your search for wisdom and direction. If they hurt you deeply, they might embody the shadow, reflecting wounds you haven't healed yet. This explains why some relationships feel so powerful, why certain people seem to have such a strong hold on our feelings. They're no longer just people, they've become symbols of something deeper. We might not just be missing the person, we might be longing for what they represented in our life. That's why letting go can be so hard. We're not just losing them, we're losing the part of ourselves that they helped us see. When you recognize the archetype at play, you can start to find emotional clarity. When you stop seeing someone as a perfect match, an impossible love, or someone who broke you, and instead see them as a symbol of something within yourself, you begin to take back your power. Their emotional hold weakens, and healing becomes clearer. The reason we hold on to certain people isn't just about love, regret, or missing the past. It's about becoming whole. Jung believed that the main goal in life is what he called individuation, the process of becoming complete by accepting all parts of yourself, including the parts you've projected onto others. If someone stays in your thoughts, they're connected to something unfinished within you. The key to letting go isn't forcing them out of your mind, but understanding what they represent and what lesson they've left for you. Instead of asking, "Why can't I stop thinking about them?" ask, "What part of me still needs healing? What qualities did I see in them that I need to develop in myself? What feelings haven't I fully processed?" When you start looking inward instead of outward, everything starts to change. If this person represented love in your life, maybe it's time to love yourself more. If they represented adventure, perhaps it's time to try new things. If they represented a deep hurt, then healing that hurt will naturally release them from your thoughts. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean erasing the past or pretending the connection never existed. It means understanding that this person was part of your journey, but they don't have to define your future. When you accept the lesson, welcome the shadow parts of yourself, and focus on your own growth, their presence in your mind will naturally fade, not because they weren't important, but because you've finally understood why they were in your life.